Welcome back to Starlit Future. I am Ian Frost, and this is part 2, the thrilling conclusion of an adventure called Mixed Media. So, if you haven't seen part 1, you're gonna need to go watch that before this, because you're not gonna understand what's going on. It's crazy.
What he said.
Yeah. So, okay. I think they're all back now. They paused it, and they watched it and came back. So now we're good. So with that out of the way, we are going to jump right back in. So, previously, in part 1, the group was summoned to meet with a very well-renowned game designer named Dana Ray, who has been accompanying the CTF Mariposa on its mission. And her own personal mission has been to interview various members of the crew and observe what they're doing so that she could make a game, what's called a lit deck game, which is like a holographic sort of VR hard light situation. A game that is puts you in the driver's seat of being a field team member on a Cosmic Trust vessel exploring a new galaxy. And so she summoned the group together and told them that the game is just about ready. And she would like them to test it. And also that she wants it to double as sort of a training experience for actual members of the Cosmic Trust to try and prepare them for weird cosmic things that once seemed like the stuff of only science fiction, but over the course of your adventures have proven to be very real. And as that's not a normal part of your training, she wanted her game to sort of take that role as well. So she asked you to participate in the game as yourselves, more or less. At the same time, the chief science officer of the ship, Tufty, had been working on a sort of computer failsafe that basically makes it so that if any theoretically living energy, but really any big power source, any power surge, encroaches into a system of the ship, that system will then drain and fully transfer to a specific, like, physical drive on the science deck, or just somewhere of Tufty's choosing. These two things butted heads in an unexpected way. As the group began to play the game story made them encounter this cosmic, all-powerful, godlike being that called itself the Author, that said that he was testing these people who had encroached into his space. But as this video game character attempted to access the ship's media files, which then transcended into the actual ship's media files, that surge of power caused Tufty's device to go off. Realizing that he was not all-powerful and could not access the media files, the Author began to question why he couldn't do exactly whatever he wanted. Hearing words like Mariposa and game, his sentience began to be called into question, causing the group to turn off the game completely, which seemed to go off without a hitch. They left and began to explore the possibility that they were still on the lit deck, which they then dismissed. And soon after, they were summoned by Captain Okita because the ship is currently docked at a space station called Outpost 8. And before you shut off the program, the Author transferred himself to Outpost 8's lit deck and took control of that lit deck and is now holding 2 Cosmic Trust members hostage. When we last left off, you were in the Mariposa's conference room with all of the senior staff and Dana Ray, the game designer, trying to determine what exactly went wrong here. And the captain says to you, "I need a full report on what happened in this game."
And Constant, with their perfect memory recall, like step by step, almost second by second, just gives the full download on everything that happened, everything that the author said, um, you know, its confusion, uh, all of it.
Rudy, while Constant is going through things, will also add in like some more like emotional inflections of like his perspective on how like the author responded to like questioning the difference between the horizon and the Mariposa, and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. The captain, with his hands steepled together, is just nodding along. And when you're finished, turns to look at Dana Ray, who seems to have calmed down with Dr. Feng's help. And now she's gone into a much more logical mode, and you see it on her face, this like confusion and determination, even a little bit of anger. She goes, "This shouldn't be possible. I mean, look, this is the real world. You don't consider AI coming to life and being a real problem. I mean, we've had generations to try and dismiss that idea. The AI that we use is deliberately non-sapient. I thought I'd covered this. I mean, apparently I didn't. Let me try to break this down a little bit. I mean, the reason why this game requires so much power is because I wanted the author specifically to be a character who could simulate this archetype of a all-powerful cosmic sort of godlike being, right? The ability to improvise and appear to be able to do anything. That's pretty robust programming. It never occurred to me, I mean, maybe in my wildest dreams, but it never really seriously occurred to me that the purview of the author could include transcending the boundaries of the ship itself. And it's at that point that Tufti says, "But he accessed the media files. That incredible surge of power that you describe is because he tried to access the ship's media files. Is this not what you designed it to do?" And she furrows her brow and she goes, "Well, yeah, but the ship's media files that's public domain. Everyone has access to the ship's media files. That doesn't require command codes. That doesn't require anything. I had no reason to believe that would make him..." The idea was that the media files are the same on the horizon as they are on the Mariposa. I thought it was pretty innovative for it to be able to actually look into the media files of a real ship that you are on and be able to pull from the stored media. I even was toying with the idea of like looking into media that you had saved if you programmed it ahead of time. Clearly now I'm not thinking that. But yeah, I didn't think...
Wow, what a way to get yourself thrown off the CTF Mariposa.
Yeah, Rudy's gonna shoot Constant like a and then he'll be like, "All right, so intentions or not, we now have a completely sapient AI on our hands. How did you program its morality? Like you said, an all-powerful god. I was thinking that this is kind of like a being that's never known consequences and thus does whatever it wants, no matter how immoral. Is that correct or not?"
Yes, very much so. The
Shit.
archetype is like a trickster sort of... simultaneously a trickster, but truly a god complex. If you can see the entire universe, you get bored. There's a level of sort of ennui involved in that, right? And layering on top of that, I wanted to try and bring in something new and unexpected to the archetype. So this idea of like, well, I'm open to it. Let me see if you can prove yourself to me, not just, to see if I can like judge your species, but to actually see if I think what you're doing is worthy. And if there's kind of a twist at the end, right? The idea is that, do you want to know the ending?
Yes.
We need to.
I'd like
Yes.
to know the ending.
Well, the idea is that instead of it being a situation where like, oh, this is just like a recurring character who keeps tormenting you over and over again and never changes, by the end of this adventure, well, honestly, it was inspired by what the field team did with the Shroud Nebula, or the being that we once called the Shroud Nebula. I mean, all you guys did was talk to it. That's amazing. The idea that it's not a trope, that's real. You can convince something with a completely different perspective on the galaxy to change. That's its ultimate end. The author is supposed to change its name and take in your story and realize that there are even things that he can't understand, but wants to. I have ideas for future arcs even where his people want to join the Cosmic Trust.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How long would it take to change the programming of the author or deprogram him entirely?
Well, a while? I mean, if I really thought about it, he's integrated only into this one arc, right? That's this power is only required because of the character of the author being so robust, and he's only in this one adventure that I've written so far. You know, the rest of it was going to be like future expansions.
And there is no kill switch, as it were, to just sort of delete him.
Well, he's not on the ship anymore, right? I mean, that's... At this point, you hear the door go, boop, and the captain says, "Enter." And the door opens, and in steps a tall, broad-shouldered Volkai, wearing a purple uniform with 4 pips on her badge indicating captaincy. Unlike Koti Ra, who has the sort of like domino mask black vein patterns on her skin, hers is more spread out. Her face is actually mostly bare, and the black patterning is like framing and around her face and like accentuates this sharp jawline. And she steps in with this really harsh expression. She says, "Forgive me for my tardiness. As you can imagine, the situation is causing panic. Please, Captain Vi, take a seat. You are most welcome here. We were just discussing how integrated this author character is into your lit deck, I should say." She looks to all of you and she says, "Yes, the connection from our lit deck to yours, that hardwired power source, it seems as though this character was able to ride that connection to our lit deck and override it in a matter of moments. It's not a particularly robust lit deck compared to others. It is as standard as yours. In fact, they're almost identical in every way, but we only have the one, and frankly, we don't need to use it that often. The security protocols clearly were not equipped to handle such an issue. We are locked out of the lit deck's controls.
Is there any way to force a retransference from your lit deck back to ours and then disconnect the Mariposa from the outpost?
At this point, I think it's going to be Callie, the chief engineer. He leans back in his chair and kind of flips his shoulder-length brown hair back, and he scratches his stubbly chin, and he goes, "Oh, well, that's going to be tricky. I mean, I'm not as adept with the computers as, say, Toofty or Mr. Altandro here, but any attempt to do anything like that, it's going to take at least, by my calculation, 15 seconds? Looks to Toofty. Toofty nods, give or take. 15 seconds is plenty of time to shall we say, do something unseemly. Our primary concern is the well-being of those two crew members. If the author sees us coming, feels, you know, as integrated as he is into the systems, if he becomes aware of what we're doing, it's over.
And what about a full shutdown of the entire outpost?
Same problem. Takes time. Precious seconds we don't have.
It appears that our only option is to meet this author on its terms. At least for now, until we're able to figure out something better.
Koti Ra crosses her arms and looks to you and says, Commander, I will respect your judgment on this, of course, but I do not recommend such a course of action, though I admit I cannot think of another. I do trust that you can handle yourselves in this environment, but from a security standpoint, my primary concern is you becoming trapped in there as well.
That is a valid concern, but again, there seems to be no other options. I am open to them, and in fact would prefer them.
The captain sighs and looks back to Dana. And Dana looks to all of you. Says, look, I believe strongly that artificial intelligence is not capable of the level of intelligence that we have. I mean, we depend so much on this, at Amos and stuff, but ask it to make art and it never will. It never has and it never will. This thing, I have to admit, I'm not worried about its sapience right now. You didn't make it alive just because the algorithm is aware of what's happening, or even aware of what it is. It's still a dangerous thing that is bound by its own programming. It has walls, it has motivations, and while a lot of different things can happen, if you appeal to that, the idea that it wants to learn, it wants to be impressed, it doesn't want to lord over you, really. It just thinks it does. If anybody can convince it of that, it's going to be you.
Is there any way that while we are entertaining the author, you would be able to plug directly into the Outpost lit deck and then delete the author without being known?
I could certainly try if that's what you want me to do.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, sure, you may be of the opinion that the author isn't sapient and is just a rogue algorithm, but I mean, you didn't think this was going to get to this point anyways. I think that we should give it the benefit of the doubt. I mean, we just took something that thought it knew everything around it, and it was the ruler of all that, and then just proved that it wasn't, and it was in fact made by us being clumsy. Like, I feel like we, as its creators, owe it to the author to give him a chance to prove one way or the other, good or bad, right or wrong. Like Dr. Fang, do we have any, I don't know how transcendence works, but do you have any spare bodies or anything?
Well, I mean, we have the standby bodies that Amos can inhabit in emergencies. Not exactly transcended, but they're functional. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, something. It's like I'm of the opinion at this point we have something that is confused and maybe and probably a little bit angry at us. Why not just show us why not just show it that we messed up but we want to make things right by it? Offer it a chance.
It is not encouraging that the author's way of trying to show this is by chaining up two of the crew members.
Precisely. I would have been more open to this line of thinking if we knew that this was an exterior being, perhaps from the unveiled galaxy, that had somehow gotten trapped or entered into our lit deck program. However, this was directly created by lines of code, and it is a very real threat to our very real people. I am not concerned on whether it deserves to quote-unquote live or not.
I have to agree with the commander. I mean, all of us, in one way or another, are somewhat programmable. We can change, and there are things in our genetics that dictate certain traits, but we change them with our choices. But I made this thing out of very quantifiable numbers. There is no transition from nothing to something. There is no question about where this thing came from. It came from me and the computer. All I'm concerned about is what it is now and what it will do. And so far, it hasn't proven me wrong. It's still bound by the character that I made it to be. It's acting like a ridiculous villain. I mean, is that the logical thing to do? Is that what an actual cosmic being would do? I don't know. And now I'm in my head because I wanted it to be. I wanted it to simulate that. I know it's not my call. If I can preserve this thing, I will. But not because of its life. Because it's my art and it means something to me. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm just sort of rambling at this point. But I'm so sorry. Never in a million years did I think this was possible.
Ruiso's not necessarily like a programmer. He has experience in computers, but he's not like at the level that Dana is, and he's not necessarily up to date with like the cutting edge of that technology. Does he think that we are at a stage technologically where this could have happened? Like this apparently was a quirk of Dana's code failing to access the media the media files. Like normally I would think that in code there'd be some kind of failsafe coded in, or of like if media files not found, then this. But it's either whatever Dana coded turned it into this, or Dana didn't code it, very confident that the media files would be downloaded and as expected. But does Ruiso think that, like, given what he knows of the cutting edge technology of like programming and artificial intelligence, that we could reach this stage where an AI can develop sentience and demand its own life?
There is no role for this because there is a very obvious analog here. There is an elephant in this room. And it's that there is more than one way to be a transcended human. The first way, the way everyone knows, and most people do, is to start as a human and then map and transfer your mind via the procedure. But the thing is, after a lot of debate, transcended humans, historically, it was determined that they still had the right to procreate. And so the second way to be a transcended human is to essentially combine the traits, like do the mapping procedure like you were going to be transcended, but map a transcended person's mind and their partners and filter them through a complex algorithm that combines those two traits. In essence, a lot of second generation, this is what they're called, second generation transcended, are functionally not just they're made from an algorithm.
Okay.
That algorithm doesn't have walls, and it doesn't have programming or coding. It is completely randomized based on not just numbers, but on the actual quantifiable data of two minds. It's kind of amazing that this even works at all. But that's the elephant in the room. Of like,
Okay.
I mean, yes, technically, there are people on this ship, countless of them, that could be considered sapient AI if you believe that. And it kind of, based on what you're hearing from Dana and the fact that her captain was organic, you can even just infer that, like, from her bionic legs, you don't have to have, like, prosthetic limbs have exposed metal and stuff like that. Like, you can just have them look like flesh, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she chose to have them be, like, look robotic and be, like, on display and stylized in that way. So there's a lot of, like, moving parts to this, and, like, a passive sort of insight putting the pieces together of what Dana's opinion on transcension, or at least second generation transcension, is. Does that make sense?
It does, yes. Oh, you've really thrown us in a pickle.
I knew it immediately. I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. I know this lore. This sounds like this.
Right. Okay. Ruisa will bring it up then. What you have just described sounds very familiar to second generation transcended humans. And definitions aside, what we decide to define as second generation transcended human, I think there are too many similarities to these transcended humans to not consider it alive and living. It is true that the conditions that it was raised in are one to believe that it was a god, all-powerful, and now the author is reckoning with the falsity of that. I think my opinion, and Commander, it is yours to agree with or refute, is to try and to play the game, to try and convince the author that it is not the being that it was defined to be, what it sees itself as. It can be something else.
I agree.
The fact that Dana had programmed this possibility, and in fact had intended it for to be a good ending in the game, is hopeful, perhaps. It shows that the author has the capacity for this. But it is dependent not just on our quantized skills that we have in a video game, but it is dependent on our own wits and compassion.
Well, I do agree that the only option is to try to appeal to the author and sort of follow the structure that it was programmed to have, convince it to become a better person, as it were, and get the good ending. I will not sacrifice my very real crewmates.
We are giving it the option to live a better life. If it chooses to not follow that, then it has made its choice.
The captain
Hear.
leans back at this point and goes, "These are questions that take time to truly answer to anyone's satisfaction. But for now, I rest easy knowing that what we all have in common is that we can think of things like this, that we do consider, and we act as best as we can. But in the end, I concur with my first officer. My concern is the lives of not only those 2 crew members, but of everyone on Outpost 8 and everyone aboard the Mariposa. We are all in danger here. There is no simple, fast, and safe way to do this remotely. And though I do not like it, I think going in is the only way this gets done. However, I think it is also a fair bet to try and create a backdoor, give us the time that we need, stall, and I believe our science team, engineering team, and Miss Ray all together can come up with a solution with whatever time you can give us. And if the threat does not pass, and the author needs to be deleted, with some luck and our combined skill, we can make that so. He turns to Captain Vi. Captain, do you concur? I do. Good. Take 20 minutes to prepare. And then, Captain, if you do not mind, escorting the field team to your lit deck. Yes, sir. Agreed. Dismissed. And he sits back in his chair and folds his fingers together. There is a palpable energy in this room. There are opinions floating in the air, almost like they have membranes around them, some of them transparent, some of them not. Some hovering around just facial expressions on people. Dr. Fang is just an almost unreadable look of like logical interest and pondering, as a stark contrast to Callie, who takes a little bit longer to stand up. Like he has to be shaken out of a fever dream as everyone else gets up first and is like already leaving. He gets up and he sort of scratches his chin, and without any rolls, it is completely unclear what he's going through other than that he's uncomfortable. And Dana is just devastated that this is happening.
I think Constant will be one of the last to leave, and so they're standing like facing forward as they were. But I think every person they're looking at, despite the water not moving at all, I think they can sort of feel like Constant's gaze sort of looking at everyone, particularly Dr. Fang and Callie and Dana.
I think Rudy is one of the first people out. And he strikes out the door very strong, but the facial expression on him isn't one of like anger or anything. It's just like pure determination mixed with this like air of like hope and wanting this to end well.
as as uh, as cold as this might be, I think in the end, Ruiso said that the option was ultimately the commander's decision, and he is just someone following orders at the end of the day. And so he's, without any sign of protest or indignation, he'll head out, and at risk of seeming cold, he is now going to treat this as some kind of science experiment. If if they can if they can talk it down, then that's great, and that's, but if not, then experiment failed.
20 minutes. Is there any preparation that needs to be done here?
I think Constant just sits with Dana and gets into the weeds of the author's programming. You know, if presented with this, what do you think it would do? Like, what are its true motivations besides being this like self-aggrandizing, bored, godlike figure? Like, what are the things that we can try to appeal to?
Yeah. You get, I think this is worth noting. She'll tell you, like, well, I wanted him to be able to kind of do anything, right?
Mhm.
Within reason.
I can do anything.
But with the amount of processing power that already takes, these games aren't just full simulator, anything can happen. Like, as a game designer, you make branches. There's a skeleton of story, and different choices don't lead to infinite outcomes. They lead to a few different outcomes. Now, if it's operating outside of those parameters in any way, it's going to be glitchy, it's going to be weird. It's already, you know, it's acting like it's trying to still be. It's still trying to test you in some way. So I think it is still kind of on the rails, but it's strange, right? So I do think that underlying desire is still going to give you an advantage.
Mhm. And like hearing that there's only like a few outcomes that can really happen. Obviously, I'm going to get the list of those to have those in the back pocket. Um, yeah, I think Constant is just spending their time learning as much as possible to then be able to take it into the situation they're about to walk into.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also, um, maybe at one point they go back to their own quarters just for like a couple minutes, and they will call up Callie. Um, Commander McAllister, are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm working the problem as best as I can.
That is not what I meant. You looked severely uncomfortable towards the end of our conversation.
Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that, but I'd say it ain't relevant to the problem at hand. I assure you it ain't gonna interfere with what I have to do.
Sounds good. Just wanted to check in.
Yeah. Aye, Commander. Thanks.
And then I will go to, I guess, wherever the docking port is between the Mariposa and the outpost is, and just wait.
I think Rudy, he'll uh he'll head to his quarters, and he'll, like usual, call Veal over. And once she enters, she'll see him like um preparing things, deciding what to bring with him on this thing, and it'll be like, ah, good, you're here. So, how much do you know about the whole current kerfuffle that's going on?
As much as there is to know, short of seeing it with my own eyes.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one word.
Oh, and like he'll like bring the boots and the prototype like energy absorption grenade from Pondu, and like put it in a sack. Um, and he'll say, you know, opinions are that this is some big evil program, but think about it. This could be just another way, this could be another form of life that was just created accidentally, and we could be documenting it for the first time.
Maybe. I mean, the Pondu were created accidentally. But then again, they weren't created. Everybody always says they were created. They weren't created, they were discovered. They were already something. And you understand the philosophical implications of saying they were created. Saying anyone was. That's not up to me, right? Or personally it is, but you know what I mean. May sound hypocritical as a transcended person, I'm first generation. I chose this. I thought about it for a long time. If I was going to lose something. I'm still not entirely sure, but what I do know is that I gained more than I lost. I didn't lose the choice of what I was going to be. But the most uncomfortable that I ever feel in my own skin with the choice that I made is when the concept of comparison comes up. The idea that we're not human anymore. And that other things that definitely aren't are closer to what I am now. I can't believe that. So yes, I'm open-minded. Sure. I want this to work out too. But if you want my advice, do you want my advice?
I mean, yeah, I value it deeply.
I don't think you need it because I wouldn't. Let's just say our relationship socially would be very different if I thought you would act otherwise than what I'm about to say. But my advice would be, don't put people you have no reservations about, the people who aren't a question mark. Don't put them in any amount more risk than they need to be just to get a good ending.
At that, he'll kind of like trace his fingers over the burns on his palm, and then he'll put a hand on Veal's shoulder and give it a squeeze and say, "Of course not. That's why I'm on the field team, so no one else has to." Ah, don't worry, I'll be fine. It's always going to turn out fine.
There's that blind optimism that often ends in explosions.
Hey, don't worry. I filled out the bingo sheet, though.
Good. Excellent. Well, good luck. Please stay alive in there and don't get locked in a lit deck, because that's a... Well, actually, that's kind of a cool way to die. I won't lie to you.
But I don't know. I feel like there are cooler ways, like matter-antimatter reaction. That sounds kind of cool. Kind of explosive.
Yeah. Well, come find me when you don't die. I'm
You
gonna
know,
need
I
to
always do.
confirm it, to know that it wasn't like a lit deck simulation.
Yeah, I'm also going to need to confirm it because it could be a lit deck simulation.
Okay. Well, I'll get to work brainstorming ways we might do that.
Yeah.
I have a few ideas. And she leaves.
Oh my god.
Rizzed out of her mind.
Oh my goodness.
Yo.
Her name is Veal, but she's the hunter? Whoa.
I think Arisa will find Tufti and see what there is to do about that backdoor situation that Okita was mentioning.
Yeah. I think Tufti is looking around and thinking, I was wondering if maybe we could use the failsafe in some way.
I had
mean,
that notion as well, but I haven't thought about it more than just using the failsafe.
well, maybe, but do you want to make a brains roll with advantage? You already have advantage for it being something in your track. He was going to give you advantage for being your commander, but I'm going to say then that the DC will lower a bit to think of this idea. So I'm going to take it down to a 12.
Okay. I will roll with advantage. It is, and computers as well.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
You are dealing with computer-based things.
That's a 19 and my D4 explodes.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, an 18. Okay. So 19 plus 4, 23. 24.
24. Okay. So it occurs to you that the whole concept of this failsafe device is that a large surge of energy triggers an emptying, but there's a bunch of, well, a transference, really, of data. And theoretically, Tufti has made it so that a very large amount of data can be moved in this way. It's theoretically supposed to work with, like, the ship's actual, like, confidential logs, right? Personnel files and all that stuff. It occurs to you the failsafes within the failsafes that you and Tufti worked on to make it so that it's not traceable. What happened here, the way that, like, the linked power lines made the author go to Outpost 8, that's not really a problem for this thing that the two of you have built, right?
Yeah.
It just transfers the data quickly and quietly and pretty much untraceably. So with that in mind, you start to wonder if maybe there's a way to surge energy into the lit deck.
Yeah.
Or utilize the surge of energy from him, from the author, to transfer the author to a hard drive.
Yeah, I'll point out, like, if we can access the source code of the game and isolate specifically, or even just the entire game, isolate the author, a power surge, either of your or perhaps their creation, could potentially be redirected to the source code of the game, transferring that data to wherever it is you've transferred it, a hard drive or something.
Well, we can decide. I mean, it could be to one of Amos's spare bodies. It could be to this particular console that I have, or we can just use a data hard drive as well. Really, it could be rigged up to anything. I have it so that there are different ways to do it. What do we have? 15 minutes? I think we can do this. And on that insane roll, like 10 above at least, right? So
yes.
Yeah. In 15 minutes, you and Tufti take what you've built and you figure out a way to rig up this failsafe device through the ship into Outpost 8 without crossing wires with the actual lit deck. And so now you figure what you need to do is you either need to get the author to power surge to a specific thing of your choice on the ship, or be able to send a power surge to the lit deck there.
Yeah.
It's your choice which one you would rather do. But if you choose the former, you're going to have to figure out what thing you're going to try to trick him into accessing on the Mariposa.
Yeah.
And if you choose the latter, you're going to have to figure out what kind of energy surge can you send there fast enough.
Yeah.
And you'll have to like distract him long enough that he doesn't take action against the two crew members.
Yeah. As to where the data will be transferred to, does that have to be determined now, or can like
ideally
can Riso be like apples and then he chooses like a spare Amos body, and if he chooses like oranges, he like chooses a hard drive?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think the idea is that the pathway is set so that it doesn't create problems.
Okay.
So that it can't be traced. But that roll was so incredible that I think you can, because you have time, right? The idea is that you're stalling so they can build it. Yeah. So you can start preparing multiple options and then lock in which one you're going to use, as long as you give Tufti about 10 minutes to lock in which one you're going to use.
Ooh, okay. I'll say this then. We'll have the default be the hard drive. But if we manage to talk it down and convince it to live a life peacefully, we can offer it its own body. And then, with their consent, allow you the time to redirect the data to one of Amos's spare bodies.
Okay, I can do that. This might work.
Well, better. Otherwise, I don't even know what's going to happen.
Well, we'll deal with that when the time comes. That's what security is working on.
Ah, yes.
Blow up all of Outpost 8.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Okay. So with these failsafes in motion, 20 minutes pass for Ruiso hard at work, building. And you all go to the docking area. The doors open. There's this like of decompression as you step through that like central area that expands between the ship and Outpost 8. And then you step out, following Captain Vi into Outpost 8 proper, into that into one of the outer rings at first, which is like these long sort of tube-like hallways, which currently you see security officers like sort of running to different places and trying to basically be ready. Like everyone looks a little bit twitchy but focused on what they're doing. And as you move through the rings to that central cylinder, you see a station that is relatively sparse. It's not like a full city station. It's not like Vertex, which is like a bigger, like moon-sized or sometimes even like small planet-sized station. This truly is like a space station, right? Just big enough that the Mariposa could reasonably dock to it. It is an outpost designed to be the closest outpost to the Unveiled Galaxy, and has been for a long time. Therefore, it is not a civilian outpost. There's not a lot of infrastructure for like, oh, there's all these restaurants and shops and businesses and a promenade. Like, there's just common areas and like cafeterias and things for the Cosmic Trust officers whose job it is to be here at this outpost doing stuff, right? So it is pretty bare bones in that way. And especially now with everything so tense, you all just see like no sense of recreation. It is all business. You make your way down the cylinder until you get to their essentially it's like their rec deck, quote unquote, actually does have a lot of like physical things. Like it has lounges and rooms for like watching movies and like having karaoke and stuff. Like they do have like fun areas. It's like a bunch of break rooms, right? And the one lit deck on board this station is here in this deck. And you get up to it. Captain Vi looks to you all and goes, "Be careful in there. This is certainly an unprecedented situation."
Of course, Captain. We'll see you on the other side.
Of course. Should all things proceed with the best possible outcome, or even an acceptable outcome, it would be my pleasure to spend more time with you and hear firsthand the stories of your first adventures in the Unveiled Galaxy. I admit I had much been looking forward to it. Hopefully this harrowing experience does not take that experience away from us. Until then. It bows a little bit. And she will turn and stand kind of nearby watching as you enter.
Point of order. On the way over, I'll tell Constant and Rudy the plan, the failsafe plan. But like I'll mention that there's like the two options of like if we manage to convince it to stand down, we have a body ready. But I'll reassure Constant that the priority are the crewmates, and right now it's set to if we can trick it into triggering like exhausting its energy back into its own source code, or to forcibly trigger energy to reach the source code itself, then that's the way that we can defeat him, because I don't know what blasters will do.
Yeah, I think before you came here, what you got was that they're gonna have to work with Dana to do the second version of the plan, where you send energy, like an energy surge there that triggers the situation.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because the energy has to do something it normally doesn't. It has to do what it's designed not to do. It has to scoop up the author to flush the author from there, right? So Dana is sort of creating an energy signature that will do that will scoop up this program.
Oh, okay.
If you want to do it that way, right? So both options are being prepared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rudy will also point out that he has the same energy absorption grenade from last time. So if push comes to shove, hopefully you can throw that and like depower this lit deck for just long enough that we can get those crew members to safety.
Yeah. But otherwise, right, you would have had to pick what system you want on the Mariposa to try and trick him into accessing or trying to access. Because him trying to access whatever system on the Mariposa will cause a power surge there. Then you don't have to do any hardware like
mine is separate from
my assumption. If you're talking about the failsafe option, my assumption was that like energy flows into a certain database, like the media files or personal logs or something like that, and the database, whatever database it chooses, will get flushed into a different source away from the energy source. So if the energy source, no matter what it is, chooses the source code, then the source code would be flushed away into a separate database. That was my understanding of how that worked. But you're saying that the energy has to scoop up the source code data and then deliver it to the hard drive in this instance?
I was thinking it was more like that, but I think your way makes sense to me too. I think they're similar approaches, and I think you can flavor it either way is more comfortable for you.
All right, sure. Yeah. So the point of the matter is power source into I guess we'll say its own source code, and it'll flush the source code of the game into an external hard drive.
Cool. So during your distraction in here, then science teams are going to have to be sneakily working on Outpost 8 to rig up this system into their computer.
Okay.
That's how that's going to work if you're going to play it that way. So that's going to be happening in the background. Meanwhile, you have the touchpad just sort of waiting outside the door. Who is going to activate it?
Me. I will.
But wait, what if this is all a simulation and we actually walked in already?
Do you activate it?
Yeah.
Okay. You touch it, and you don't get a voice back. You just get text across the screen. and it's blocky and like it's on a green like pixelated screen. I would say, Ruiso, with your knowledge of like old sci-fi type media, it seems like you're the most adept at this. You recognize what you've studied is like what ancient human computers looked like the first computer games. It looks like the screen of a text-based adventure.
Yeah.
And it says, the brave field team enters the fray. Will they prove themselves? Or at least prove myself? ... And then the door slides open. And inside, you see a very different environment than what was shown before. What you see is a marshy environment. There are soft, browning grasses all around, tangles of trees of a forest that sort of scoops around you like it would be behind you if you weren't standing in the doorway. And outside of this tree line, several paces forward, you see what I can only describe as a Gothic manor. It is made of stone and wood. It has parapets. It has these like towers that look almost like they belong more in a castle than a house. There's a creaky black iron gate that is swung open. It almost looks like it's been bent forcibly, like something tore it open. And there's like a wind sort of howls through the area and carries on it the smell of not salt water or stagnant water, but like some sort of marshy, sort of fishy, lakey smell. And you do see beyond the house itself just the outer edges of some kind of lake on the other side of it. Do you
I
enter
immediately
fully?
want to rewatch the Game Grumps Let's Play of Castlevania.
Do you step in all the way?
Shall we play a game?
As you enter, the door closes and disappears, and behind you is only a swamp.
Oh boy.
Well, you sure know how to pick an environment, author. All right, just talking to myself. Just an asshole talking to the wind.
If you can hear us, know that we don't agree with your actions of imprisoning these crew members, but we're not here to kill you. We wish to talk, and hopefully we can settle this peacefully.
You still don't hear anything.
Yeah. I guess I'll walk towards the manor at least.
Okay. What is everyone's resolve? Oh wait, I know what everyone's resolve is. I have your stats.
My resolve is a D12.
Same.
D12. Oh, hey.
Hey.
Oh, everyone's resolve is D12. Great. So then I would say all of you notice that there are footsteps like in the mud leading up to the gate.
Does it match like standard uniform boot or?
Make a resolve check.
Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Or if you're getting in there and touching it, it can be like investigative brains.
That was only a 3.
8.
Yeah, I'll use brains. I'll get down dirty. It's not real.
Get down on it.
Star point.
Star point. Stone.
That was a
Yeah,
2.
this DC is I'm gonna say a 7.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
I rolled
yes. Organic humans.
You rolled a 2, and Rudy, you got
8.
8. Okay, so you're trying to see if you can match these footprints to anything in particular, and it looks like they are designed to look like Cosmic Trust, sort of standard issue print boots, like 2 sets of them, and they look partially dragged. Like it looks like footsteps of like some of them are full footprints, but then they they're like pulled to the balls of their feet and then dragged forward a little bit, and they're like trying to find their steps. The only thing you don't know is this something that the author put into the environment here, or did this actually happen?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you don't know, because you saw them chained to a slab that looked more like that desert environment you saw before. So you're not sure which of those two things is true. But bare minimum, it is like some kind of trail coded to them leading up through the gate.
Okay. I think these guys are having a bad time.
No shit.
We go.
I will also say, because you would have been told this, Captain Vi would have told you the names of the two officers that you're looking for. So you're looking for Lieutenant Jack Brady.
Not Jack Brady.
He is a transcended human who is a lieutenant in engineering, who specializes in like working on the lit deck. He was there monitoring it with an ensign while the power transfer was happening, so that he could like monitor the levels and make sure everything was cool. That's what these two were doing there before. So he was also with an ensign from the science department, who is a mixed Unala named Ensign Cora Mais. So those are the two officers that you know you're looking for.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So you head up through the gate. You go up to the door. The doors are closed. That's it. The doors are closed.
Are they locked?
Do you want to test it?
Yeah.
You just push it open.
Sick.
All right. Step inside.
Inside, you see a very well-decorated foyer. There is a spiral staircase that leads up. There are various doors all around on the bottom floor. And hanging up above a fireplace is a portrait painted in like kind of a Victorian style, but it is clearly a painting of the author, looking like very intense. The thing that catches your attention most, however, is that there is a metal door. It almost looks like the door of a vault that is like in the center of the room. So like how the stairs would lead up to a second floor, right? But what that's resting on, the foundations that's resting on at the back of the room, whatever that room is, this is the only doorway you see that leads into it. And you see that on this vault door, there is a series of like depressions in the door. There are 3 circular depressions in the door that look like they have carvings on them, like they would fit some kind of plate to be like pushed into them.
It's Resident Evil.
And you see there are the 3 engravings in those depressions are the image of a man, just like a neutral looking sort of hairless Homo sapien, you know, like the default character before you add any details in a video game, just like person, a goat, and a fish.
All right, so we got a man, LeBron James, and a fish.
Is he thinking that I'm a goat? I don't know if that's insulting or not.
Am I supposed to be the fish?
The crowd. That's incredible. Is the author racist?
But there are other doorways that lead to other parts of this house.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can also like roll to look around if you wish as well.
Oh yeah, sure.
I check for traps.
I will look. Oh, I can re-roll my resolve checks. I forgot.
Oh my goodness, no way.
Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. Is that is to look around a resolve, or is it?
It is, yeah. Just looking around without really investigating. That is resolve. Just noticing details.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a. Let's call it a 6. You can take half and notice obvious details. But
Yeah.
the better
Nice.
you get, the more you'll see like more specific things that might help you.
Yeah.
I got a 7.
Oh.
7.
Yeah.
Ben.
Oh, right.
I
7.
mean, if you're looking around,
Sam,
are you thinking 10?
7.
7. Okay. So 2 7s and a take half. So everyone is going to see like the basic information. You do very clearly notice like different rooms for sure, but and all doors are closed everywhere. But the most obvious thing that you see is those muddy footprints lead right up to this vault door. And like through it under. Sort of like right up to the crack of it. If there was one. I think... Let's see. What's another obvious detail? There is, while there is no other door into that room, whatever this vault door leads to, you do see that there is a back door. Like, there are a couple of different doors down here that you don't know where they go to. You can surmise what like, the anatomy of the house, what it might be. Like, okay, this might lead up to the tower, and this will lead upstairs to something. Maybe there will be bedrooms. You could think maybe there's a kitchen somewhere. But what catches your attention is there is also a door that seems to lead outside, which, to your knowledge, would just lead out to where that lake is.
Oh, fish.
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 So tower, lake, and then
Got
And then other doors down
Other
here or up
Sure.
on the second floor that you're not sure of.
Gotcha.
There's also like a big spiral sort of hypnotic pattern rug in the center of the room.
Oh,
I want to yank that out of the way.
You just pull the rug aside.
Yeah.
There is a trap door
Ha, ha,
there.
ha.
It's closed,
Oh.
but it's there.
Hee hee hee. Okay.
I know what we need to do. We need to split up and look for clues.
oh! I thought we were going to open the trapdoor and just go down.
I definitely think the trapdoor is the most intriguing option.
It's the one that he did not want us to find, apparently.
Yeah, sure, why not? What's the worst that can happen?
I try to open the trapdoor.
Go ahead and make a brawn roll for me.
Alright, I'm gonna use my robot body.
That's going to be... Let's make it a 4.
Hacha! Oh, wait, no, this is armored body. This is not just robot body. Yeah. Okay, well, I didn't do it.
You go to pull it and you feel that there is resistance. Just because it's like a very heavy door. You might need help.
Help,
All right, gang.
help, help.
On
As a
3.
team.
Okay. So you all try to lift it together.
We'll use the power of friendship.
Let's see. So everyone's brawn.
Don't make that noise. Don't.
Well,
Don't say
exploded.
that.
I exploded on it last time, so maybe it'll explode this time.
Yeah,
That's how that works, right?
exactly.
Okay. So let's say all together your rolls need to add up to a 10.
Oh.
10.
Okay.
You guys can re-roll, though.
All right.
Like me.
Mhm.
We're gonna need it.
I do explode. I explode again.
Hell yeah.
It's my turn. It's my turn. I explode again.
Me, I'm the guy.
And a 3. Okay, so what is that? 12, 15.
Excellent.
+1 from me.
+5 for me.
Amazing. So all of you sort of take a side and pull it up together, and it comes. It's like it's gonna crash onto the other side, but Ruiso sort of picks up the slack and feels that sort of surge of adrenaline, and you guide it all the way down so it doesn't make a big loud noise.
Mm-hmm.
And inside, you do clearly see there is a ladder, a wooden ladder that leads down into pitch blackness.
Where are all of my cameras on my body? Where are they situated? Are they?
Well, they're on the sphere itself.
They're on the.
On
But
this
they're
part.
on the collar part.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna turn on night vision and just stick my head in.
You turn on like kind of a flashlight situation.
I just assumed I would have like night vision or thermal or something.
Oh, because they are cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duh. That makes sense. So you just make it so you can see in the dark to a certain degree, and because it's like thermal and night vision, it's sort of not blurry, but it's kind of infrared-y looking, right?
Mhm.
It's all like green, and you look down, and what you see is what seems to be an expansive wine cellar of some kind, but it is not a traditional layout. What you can see is that all of the different wine racks are almost like bookshelves in a way, and they are not along the walls. They are all freestanding, and they are positioned like a hedge maze. It is a labyrinth of wine racks.
Bruh.
All right, who's the alcoholic here? Who wants to go?
If there was a hidden plate here, I would imagine it would be on the bottom of one of these wine bottles.
Oh, it looks like a maze. I thought it would be at the center or the end of the maze.
That could also be true.
And also knowing that this is a game, how likely do we think that there's some big bad monster in there waiting for us?
Excellent point. Phasers should be set to kill.
Do we have those?
I don't know.
I mean, they're not called phasers, but they're.
I don't
you have
know what
your-
they're called.
That's a fair point.
We've just been saying
truly-
gun and blaster
here's
and
my
phaser.
thing. Here's my thing with this.
Gamma blaster.
There is a pressure to name the proprietary gun, right? Because that's like a very fiction thing to do.
Mhm.
My approach to this is like, yes, it's a story, but it's also a world that is world built to be our world in the future, right? Would we rename the gun just because it has like settings, right? So they're just guns. They're just your gun.
Firearms.
You know,
Well, I
they're
mean, it
your
would be
pistol.
a firearm
you know.
because it uses lasers, not a combustion thing.
Laser arms.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Yeah.
distinction between like a machine gun and a regular gun, so I suppose there
True.
could be like laser gun.
Laser
Photon
gun.
Laser gun.
What does shoot out of this thing? Photons? Lasers?
Yeah, pretty much.
Those are the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Science.
My apologies.
But yeah,
Okay.
so I never really felt a great need to like give a name to the guns.
That's fair.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, you two will need flashlights of some sort.
I should have on me. And he'll like reach into a bag and crack a glow stick and
Sure. That illuminates like 10 feet in front of you or so.
ooh, I wonder if this is a hard light construct or something I used in real life. I just thought of that.
Yeah,
That's gonna fuck with you the whole time.
Ruizo's like understanding that this is a simulation and this derived from a game at least. He's gonna be like, is there some kind of gesture I can do to activate a flashlight or something like that? You know how you like press F for a flashlight or something like that?
Yeah, weirdly, you don't see any. There's no more like tutorial things.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. Yeah.
There is one way that we could potentially speed run this scenario. However, it would make a lot of noise.
Just bust through the wine
Bust
maze like a bull in a
through the
china
wine
shop.
maze.
Push.
But what if it breaks the plate?
What if it upsets the author and then he decides to off the crew members?
This is also true. However, if I was the author, I would commend us for thinking outside of the box. But then again, I am not an asshole.
That is true. I feel like it could go either way. You know, either they would commend us for our ingenuity, or they'd be upset because we did something that it didn't think could be done.
For now, I guess we can traverse the maze as a maze.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I am looking at the butts of all these wine bottles as we like pass, you know, front of bookshelf here, because are they like wine racks, or are they like bookcases with backs?
Oh no, they're wine racks.
Okay.
They're just bookcase
so as we
sized.
pass each wine rack, I'm just gonna look at the back of all of the bottles.
Yeah, you're looking at the butts of all of these bottles. I'm gonna have you make a resolve check, just searching, perceiving around you. I'm gonna call it let's call it a 7.
I got a 9.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you are looking at the bottoms of all of these bottles that you're passing, and so far, you like these bottles are not big enough to like the plates that you would need are like dinner plate sized, right?
Oh,
and these
didn't understand that part.
These bottles are definitely too small to be that. But as you're listening,
thought it was Resident Evil emblem size.
Your footsteps as you're walking at like a normal pace, and you're flashing your light around. Constant, as you are trying to perceive into the room, you hear something.
Ooh.
First, in the distance, it almost sounds like a gurgling sort of cry. Sort of like, and then you hear a sound like something dragging slowly across the wood floor. Almost like a giant sack of slime or something, just dragging across. It's fleshy sounding, it's substantial. There are moments where it's interrupted by like slapping sounds, like something is sort of colliding, but it's mostly just pulling itself across. There's like scratching, and it sounds close.
Is this the fish?
Resident Evil 8 baby.
Is this the fish?
Is this the fish?
Gefilka fish?
Gefucka fish?
Gefilta?
Oh.
Who's the stealthiest? Because it's probably not me with my robot body.
Which one is stealth? Is that flight? Or
probably?
Yeah. It is flight.
I'm at a D10.
Oh, okay. Well,
You're
God
up.
bless you.
Cool. Oh dear. So should I make a stealth roll, or
if you're trying to go into like deeper into the room to try and get to the center?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'll be going alone because I'm the only one making this roll. Is that my understanding?
I have a D4.
I have a D6.
Okay. I mean, I can go in alone. I'll take Rudy's glow stick.
You're gonna stealth, but also illuminate yourself.
I need to see.
You could throw it as a distraction if need be.
So true.
8.
Okay. So, I'm going to offer you something here. You did succeed in being sneaky.
Okay.
If you have a star point to spend, if you can get to one more, which will get you 5 above what I rolled, you can get a look at this thing without it seeing you, if you want to.
I do have a star point to spend, and I'm absolutely going to spend it because that's what star points are for. We don't save money in this household. We spend it immediately. Do not take my advice.
Deficit spending. It always works.
If you're always in debt, you're never in debt.
So you creep through the bookcases, trying to not only be quiet, but still figure out how to get deeper into the room, right? You're like turning and crouching, and it's not perfect cover either, which is a concern because they're wine case. They don't have backs, right? So like people can see you through them, really, if they're looking for you, and can see in the dark. But as you turn a corner, you see it, and you realize that what it sees is not really a concern. You see a mound of flesh, almost slug-shaped, like the center of mass has bloated like a corpse in water, just larger and larger until it's like the fat of it has sort of overgrown the legs and mutated and changed into this worm-like sort of shape, but you can hear the toenails like it's still dragging itself along under the weight of this thing, pulling itself forward, and the arms are bulbous and have yellowed sort of claw-like fingernails as it grabs the bookcases and then pulls itself forward. But what you see is that the head is still person-shaped. In fact, it almost looks a little bit like the image on the plate. It's kind of featureless and blank and like bald and too human looking, except for the fact that as it turns, sort of looks around, its eye sockets are empty. Just like grown over with skin. There's no... It can't see you. And you can clearly see it looks right to where you are and past you. It's just listening.
Okay.
And then it moves past you and continues its rotation.
Do I make it far enough into the maze that I find the plate?
So now you're going to have to make... This was your stealth check to get this far.
Yeah.
I'm going to need one more to get to the plate.
I believe.
For advantage, can I take one of the wine bottles and throw it to the other side of the room?
Yes, you can.
Cool. 9. Actually, I have another start point. I'm exploding it.
Yes!
That's good, because I just rolled a 9.
That's not 5.
And it's trying to see you, so
yeah.
You're going to need it.
13.
Okay. You reach a point where you take a step and the floor creaks in a way you didn't expect, and it turns. And then you throw the bottle and it turns, screeching, dragging itself across the room as fast as it possibly can, knocking over multiple of these like cases of wine. And then you make as fast of a dash for it as you can during all the noise, and you see that there is a pedestal in the center of the room on which rests this plate. A stone plate, almost like a giant penny, just the image of a bald, featureless face on it, would fit perfectly into that depression.
Cool. I pick it up.
You grab it, and now you have it.
Now I need to get back.
Now you need to get back, right? So you can haul ass if you want to, while it's like on the other side of the room.
Yeah. You know what? Because I can see that it's possible to knock over the wine racks, I'm gonna turn in the direction opposite of where I'm going to run, so like further into the room, and I'm gonna push over the rest of the wine racks in front of me, and then turn around and jet back to the trapdoor.
Okay. So I'm going to make... Oh, you're trying to distract it.
I am.
So I'm going to make a flight check at disadvantage.
Okay.
And you can make a flight check regular style.
Okay.
Regular style.
Regular style.
Rolled a 4 and a 1.
Oh, okay.
Please
I
tell
also
me.
rolled a 1.
Oh my god.
Okay, so because it's a 1 versus a 1,
Yeah.
you knock over the bookshelves or the wine racks, and one falls on its body, and it screeches and scrambles up, and as you start running, it pulls this thing apart. It reaches up and with inhuman strength just cracks it apart, and wine spills all over its body. Almost looks like blood in a way across its like veins popping out of its fleshy exterior, and as it turns and it sees you running, it doesn't see you, it hears you. And it begins to slide across the floor as fast as it can, and you're tripping over the wine that is now trickling across the floor and making the floor slip, and you're like running and running, and this thing is right on your heels, the screeching growing louder and louder, and you reach up and you grab Constance's hand at the top of the ladder, slam the trapdoor down, and you just see it, and you just hear it scratching, but it cannot push its way through, and you have the plate.
I found the guy on the plate. Just like breathing very heavily. He was not as advertised.
Are you all right?
Just about. This is a very cruel trial that author is making us do, but I'm still treating it with the reverence and respect that it should be as a designer of the game. Please take cues from this. And I guess I'll go and I'll put the plate in the slot.
Okay.
Yeah.
You fit it perfectly into the depression, and you hear it click in and rotate slightly so it fits perfectly into place, and you see it clamp in, and you hear some gears turning inside the vault. And they click into place.
Nice. One down, two to go.
Lake, fish,
Fish?
Fish.
fish.
We go outside to the lake.
Wishing I was fishing.
So, you step out to the lake area. There is a small sort of like, not quite lake house, but like just a little wooden shed on a rickety old dock stretching out of the marshes onto this very still, serene lake. You can clearly see on the other side of the lake there is a cave. Quite a large cave.
Imagine there's a cave. A cave into the
Imagine
darkness.
there's a big fish that we gotta fight in the middle of this lake to get to the cave.
And to be clear, you can't just go around the lake. You have to go through the lake to get to the cave.
And you can't shoot it with your gun either. You have to throw harpoons at it.
Yeah, only harpoons only.
Yeah, you look around the lake. The ground is elevated all around. And you can clearly see, like, across the lake, there is a little bit of a glint of something. You can see that there's like a shape, kind of a pedestal-like shape in the cave that you can see as the sun is sort of beaming down on it.
I'll point out the pedestal and I'll say that is what the other plate was on. So I think that is a good bet that that's where we'll find the fish plate. Or the goat plate, I don't know. But given the lake in front of us, the clearly the lake that we have to go through and not around because they're cliff edges.
Is there a boat nearby?
You look and you see, tied up in front of this dock, right next to this little woodshed area, there is a little wooden, not wooden, no, it's like a speedboat. Very like old style speedboat, something that you really only see if you live near water. I guess that, like, I was gonna say, like, we don't see these anymore, but it's like in the future I don't think we outlive the need for a little speedboat if you want to go on a speedboat in the lake. So so you see that, looks like it could comfortably fit 3.
Wow, analog, no pulsar engines or anything like that.
There's a pull
I
cord
was
to
gonna
make
say.
it go.
Yeah.
Okay,
Are
pile
there
in.
harpoons in the boat?
There are not. There's nothing in the boat.
Is there
Oh my
anything
God.
in the shed house?
Go ahead and make a resolve check or a brains check to investigate inside the shed.
Investigar. Whoa, that's only a 4. What's happening?
Whoa.
Bad.
Only a 4? Okay.
Mhm.
So go ahead and take a star point.
Put the star point in the bag, little bro.
Is anybody else looking in the shed?
Sure, I'll do that.
I can do it too. I'll do brains.
I can do that too. Yeah, I'll do brains as well. I'll copy you.
I'm gonna say this is a DC of 9 to find. Or wait, no. Then you can take half. I'm gonna say this is a DC 11 to find a specific thing that you could find if you look hard enough.
5.
Harpoons. No!
Oh my god. Oh, 16.
Nice.
5 above. Read 'em a week, boys.
So, Rudy, there's a couple of things. The first thing that you find is there's like an ice chest, and as you open it up, it's like a bucket of chum. It's like full of just gross like bits of flesh and stuff of unknown origin. But the other thing that you find is on a little desk, like up near this, there is what appears to be a pip. Like a pip from a Cosmic Trust badge.
Oh. Well, I'll take both of those.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like an ensign's rank pip?
Well, all the rank pips look the same.
Oh.
So,
You can promote yourself.
I could promote myself to lieutenant commander right now.
I would allow it.
That actually means a lot coming from you.
on your roll, you do clearly remember that in the message that the author sent to you guys a while ago, both of his captives had the correct amount of pips that they were supposed to have. So if he took one from them, it would have happened after that.
Okay.
So you're not sure if this is real or a hologram.
If I eat it.
Lick it like a Switch cartridge.
What is I'm so sorry. I have to know, what does eating food and drinking, what is that sensation like if it's on a lit deck?
Yeah, I mean, I think that generally speaking, it can't create like the taste of food out of light particles.
Yeah.
So you get like it can create the texture of it, but I think once it gets into the mouth chamber, it kind of dissolves.
Pretty cool.
Like you just
I
bite
dig
into it and then it goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. I'm just
Well.
imagining like eating an apple. I'm so sorry. I can't stop thinking. I'm just imagining like eating an apple and like feeling the juice run down your skin and stuff like that, and like having the sensation of eating an apple, but it just doesn't taste like anything. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Davy
sorry.
Jones
Yeah.
Please continue.
curse. Or no, Barbosa curse.
Because I'm just trying to think like how would they possibly simulate that, you know?
Yeah.
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 You soak styrofoam in water.
Now, you can, if anyone wants to investigate the pip specifically, you can.
Me. Wow.
I'll help. I'll help you with
Do you want to
that.
help? Okay, so then this one is definitely a brains because it's specifically investigative with like hands-on. I'm gonna say I'm not looking at what you rolled because I haven't said the DC yet.
Yep.
And
I'm not saying.
with help, that's gonna take the DC down. So I'm gonna say this
Down,
is
down.
an 8.
18.
Okay.
Whoa.
you're looking at this thing, and you just spent some time in a wine cellar.
Mm-hmm.
You look at this pip, it has wine stains on it. Which shouldn't happen to a real Cosmic Trust pip. Stuff just rolls off those things. But it has like clearly like what looks like a wine stain. It even smells like it. It smells like fermented grape.
Huh?
It smell?
Wait, we can replicate smell, but we
Oh
can't.
yeah, we could do
replicate
smells.
taste. Okay.
Let Dex have
Alright.
smells.
Okay.
Now, I'm not smart enough to understand what that would mean.
No, and on that roll too, is it's so exceptional. There's nothing logically that makes sense for that that you've seen yet. It must be some part of the story you haven't seen yet. Other than the fact that it connects to that there's a wine cellar in the house.
Yeah.
Perhaps the author left us a clue if we did not discover the wine cellar first.
Oh. Maybe.
We need to
Or-
get you on the away team. You bring our intelligence way up.
Or maybe the thing that I encountered in the wine cellar was one of the... Don't make me finish it.
Bleak. Bleak.
Yeah.
Did two-
Look around us.
2 sets of footprints leading into the vault?
Leading into
There's
the
one.
manor. Right?
Like 2 that looked like they were kind of dragged, and 1 that looked like it was walking.
But they were leading into the vault.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
it leads up to
All
the
right.
vault door.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, that's everything that's in here. So
I guess we just go?
yeah.
We did
Yeah.
that as, yeah.
Do you bring the chum bucket with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you get into this boat. Yeah. And you begin to. Who wants to drive the boat?
What would driving be?
Flight.
Flight?
Fuck.
I
All
can
right.
do that.
You're up.
All right.
I
As
will
we're
help,
dri-
though.
as we're kind of like just driving along, I'm gonna ask, Constant Commander.
Hmm.
I had a question. Truly apologize if this is insensitive or not. Can you swim in the lake, like outside of your suit?
No.
Okay.
If this were a real lake, I would disperse immediately and then effectively die. But
Right.
because
I
this
had-
is technically the lit deck, if I exited my orb, I would just evaporate and then effectively die.
You know what, author? I have to hand it to you. I totally forgot this was a simulation. What happened if you were to enter a real lake without your suit?
But the water of my body would fuse, disperse as water does with the water of the lake, and then I would no longer be 1.26 gallons. I would be millions of gallons of water, and my neurons would be too scattered, and then I would die.
Okay, good to know.
Rudy's gonna lean over to Ruiz and be like, "We found this out back on Pondor. You remember?"
Well, she went back into like a pond or pond, like body of water, which I think was filled with other potential pondu. I was wondering what happened if it was just a regular lake with no other pondu in it.
In the case
Fair
of
enough.
Pondor, the electrons and neurons that make up a pondu, if they were to, reintegrate to the ocean of Pondor, they would just sort of be floating neurons and electrons again, and upon being scooped up in the proper volume, would once again form a consciousness. However, in any other water, I would just cease to be forever.
Yes, understood. 9.
9 for piloting the.
Yes,
boat.
yes.
Okay.
Did you do
I
that?
thought
with
you
a
were saying
reroll?
no.
Yeah, I know. I thought
no.
that too. It's like
Oh.
like no to that plan.
Like
Oh,
you're
it's
gonna
just-
throw him in the water? Like whoa!
Entschuldigung, es tut mir leid.
Did you? Was that with the reroll I was granting?
That
you?
was.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Okay.
I don't like that it's a contested roll.
Okay. So as you are piloting I keep saying piloting. You're driving the boat. Piloting a boat sounds really weird. You're driving
Yeah.
this boat across the lake, and there's something weirdly peaceful about it for a moment. And you see that cave coming up, and the closer you get to it, about like halfway across the lake, you start to see more details. You think you see like a desk in there, and like vials of something, like chemistry sort of setup. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on in there that you can start to see, but you are quickly distracted as you all see a dark shape under the water. And then you see very rapidly a ton of bubbles and water displacement as a wave is kicked up, and the massive head of a fish-like creature with rows of teeth and a little like anglerfish doodad coming out of its forehead area
No.
shoots up out of the water. And you steer the boat so quickly that you ride the wave, and this thing chomps at the air right behind where the boat just was, and you glide across and make a sharp turn, and then suddenly this thing is back in the water, and you see that dark shape and the bubble displacement as it is swimming back toward the boat.
We don't even
Use
have
the chum.
one.
Use the chum.
Yeah, I'll chum it over there.
Okay. Because you found the chums, you go ahead and you throw it into the water. And there are just like pools of blood. This stuff is so fetid that it immediately like dissolves on contact with the water, and there's just like blood and bits that seep out into the lake. This thing gets easily distracted by that and like stops and just begins like gnawing at it in the gnarliest way, and the water is like bubbling and roiling in on itself as this thing is like doing backflips in this pool of rancid filth. And you manage to get yourself to this cave and step out into it. You do clearly see the pedestal in the center of the room with the fish plate on it, but you also see this sort of laboratory setup with anatomy drawings of like and like notes and journals. You pick up what appears to be some kind of diary, and you see notes that look like very Frankenstein-like, chronicling the gradual mutation and experimentation on what appears to be this person's former lab assistant. And it ends with like, oh, the experiment was a failure. He did not retain his intelligence, but he is good for guarding the wine cellar against intruders. We're going to need all the wine we can get for the rooftop party. And it is signed Admiral Shale.
Admiral Shale.
It's not a real name that any of you know. It sounds like a character of some kind. As far as you know, there could be an Admiral Shale, but nothing comes to mind for any of you. And you see like drafts of party invitations, like drawn in nice cursive to like when he was drafting out before he actually sent them out.
Is there like any specification as to like an address or location of this place?
It's here. It's his party on the rooftop of the tower.
Oh yeah, but like, does it have like a name or?
Of the like people that he sent them to?
No, of like the manor. Like it's not going to
Oh,
say
the
like.
manor.
Like-
Yeah,
It's
this is Shale Manor.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
Wow.
Looking around, you do see sort of like weird Cosmic Trust paraphernalia, but like reimagined as like a naval sort of thing rather than a space sort of thing. There's like a captain's hat, sort of like field notes from sea expeditions and stuff, and it talks about like the Unala and Keith Raleigh as cultures in the world. It's a weird sort of real world reimagining of what the Cosmic Trust is. And it all seems to center around this corrupt admiral who did this gross experiment and probably will continue to do weird experiments on people. So this pip that you have, you're not sure. It might be his. It might have belonged to the person who became this monster.
As macabre as all this is, it does somewhat prove that the author is more than just an AI and can come up with new things.
Constant,
Mm.
make a brains roll for me.
A brain.
This is like a memory recall situation.
So I don't have to.
You don't. Excellent. You do not have to roll for memory recall. You have perfect memory recall as a Pondu.
Yes.
Oh.
All of these details, the idea of like reimagining the Cosmic Trust as like a naval thing, you think about that conversation you had with Dana Ray, and she told you something like this.
Mm.
She explained to you one of the scenarios was like taking influences from other media. That's part of what the like accessing the media files was going to do, is that there are various scenarios that he can create, that the author can create to like test the party, and they would be based on different genres, right? So this one is like the sort of horror skin, and the idea of like reimagining the Cosmic Trust, the corrupt general who is like making monsters and stuff. This all sounds like a story that is part of the game that was told to you.
I am not so sure. And then I explain all of that.
All right, he's a hack then.
we did not get very far into the game. As far as we know, this is just reused levels from, reused assets, which is kind of important in the games industry. Don't think that you could. That's a different conversation.
Constant will pick up the plate.
Okay.
The fish plate.
You pick up the plate. I'm going to say the monster is still occupied, and you have the chumps. You can just do it again.
Yeah.
So rewarding you for finding that.
Call me Ishmael.
This is a unique opportunity to be able to eat chum without incurring some horrible sickness. It'll smell awful, but you won't taste anything.
For once, I am grateful to not have to eat or drink.
It is hard to like keep it down because the smell is so strong that lit decks, when you put things that have a smell close to your face, it pumps it stronger. Uses the artificial gravity and whatever. I'm making shit up, but it just gets they make it so that you smell it stronger.
Molecules something fucking
yeah, whatever. It's like it gets stronger when you put things closer to you, right? Or get closer to something that smells. So it's right up all in your face. And then you put it in your mouth and it's gone.
Oh. That's
For a second though, you get the texture, which is pretty horrible.
What is it
Want
like?
some? It's like, have you ever licked a battery before?
No, that's a lie. Yes.
Yeah, it's like that when it dissolves on your tongue.
Oh, interesting.
Try it.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
listen,
I will not.
we gotta find some ways to have some fun.
I am the scientist. I hypothesize. You are the engineer. You enact experiments.
I don't think that's how that works.
And the boat arrives back at the dock.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
You step out and presumably back into the manor.
Place it.
Clicks into place and you hear more gears turning. What next?
Tower next.
Tower?
Okay.
They did mention something about a rooftop party. Maybe it is at this tower.
I don't think we could. I don't suppose we can grab any bottles of wine for that, huh?
I put my dome to the trapdoor.
The creature is settled down. You don't hear it acting crazy anymore, but you do hear it breathing.
Ooh.
No, I don't think we shall be bringing any wine to this party.
You win some, you lose some.
You're free to go down if you wish.
You know what? I'm good on that one. I already figured out what it feels like to eat food on the holodeck. Why don't you take one for the team?
I did. That's how we got the plate.
So the tower then?
So the tower then.
Okay.
You head up the stairs. And as you do, you hear the sounds of like jazz music playing and like glasses clinking. And as you reach for the door at the top of the tower that presumably leads out to the rooftop, you all feel a sort of tingling sensation on your skin for a moment, or you on your body. And you look at each other. And all of you have changed clothes.
Oh, shit.
You are all wearing what appears to be like black tie event 1920s fashion.
I love The Great Gatsby.
Now, you don't feel anything different other than like the feeling of the drape of whatever clothes that you're wearing. But both of you look at Constant. And you do not see a fishbowl head anymore. You just see a human in a wide-brimmed, like, fedora. You can describe what kind of human, just because you can. I will say it's probably not the exact ideal of what you would want, right? Because how would it know that? But you are made to look like a human in this moment.
So it's very Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal, where it's like a low, instead of a low pony or low, it's like a low bun, black hair that like swoops and drapes, you know, to create sort of a shadowing effect alongside the fedora. Fair skin, with brown eyes and sort of like a stereotypical sort of like femme fatale, like red lip.
So you don't notice this yet.
Constance, you do not look like Constance anymore. You look like a human woman.
Constant goes to the nearest, like, are there waiters here?
Well, before you open, this happens before you open the door.
Oh.
There is an ornate mirror in the stairwell right behind you. And you turn to look and you see yourself.
We should go.
Do I look any different? I look in the mirror.
Yeah, you know what? I think you would. I think you would be made to look human.
Okay.
So it is racist.
Oh my god. This is...
Okay, yeah, so, I guess, you know what? I'll just say that he looks like Noir. So, sort of South Asian, black hair kind of swooped over, and large, imperceptible black glasses. No, I'm just kidding. Brown eyes.
Boy, who do you think is most uncomfortable, Rudy, Ruiso, or Constant?
Constant is like they're reaching for the door and their hand is shaking.
You can feel the weight of your dome still. You feel your water sloshing around. You're in there. Like, nothing feels different at all. It's just that reflection.
And I can, like, feel my horns and stuff, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
Let's finish this as quickly as possible. I do not like looking like not me.
Please.
I don't know who this bozo is.
You open the door, and your ears are filled with jazz. So you see this classy rooftop party of people in 1920s fashion, but a lot of them are wearing like admiral sort of like dress uniforms or like Cosmic Trust, and you notice there's a pattern. As you look around, everyone's fashion is in Cosmic Trust colors. You can still see that these are like a 1920s reimagining It's like 1920s naval fashion now.
Hmm.
And people are dancing, and I think there's like a band playing. And you're looking around. You're not sure what this party is for. Not a lot of people seem to give you any mind other than to sort of like tip their hats to you as you enter. I would say this sort of flapper-styled individual with like a short black bob wearing what almost looks a little bit like sort of a dress version of a naval uniform with like a short skirt. And it is in white colors, and you see 2 pips on the Cosmic Trust badge that's indicating rank, and she comes up to you, she kind of dances up to you and goes, "Golly, I don't think I've seen any of your faces before. Are you here to celebrate the Admiral?"
Yes. Yes, we are. We're ready to hold down and pop and lock.
Pop and Lock came later.
But they're all like the same century. Who cares?
My
You
culture.
must be one of them Unala fellas, then.
What?
Oh,
I don't recognize those dance moves. Must not be from
Ah.
around here.
Well,
Not
I am
judging, of
Unala.
course.
Yeah, I am Unala. Yes.
Man, faraway country. Boy, would I love to see it someday. Anyway, get yourself a cocktail shrimp. You know that they actually spawn right here in the lake. They're delicious.
Yeah, come on. I'm sure they taste great, Ruiso.
Actually, yeah, don't mind if I do. I'll go and I'll just like politely get and eat a cocktail shrimp.
Are any of the plates that the hors d'oeuvres are being served on have a goat on them?
Make a resolve check.
Yeah.
DC 6. So you can take half, or you can get more specific information. Basically, if you take half, I'm just going to tell you yes or no.
Oh, but not like where. Let's
Come
roll
on.
for it.
We're
I got-
gamblers.
I got 2 star points.
No, if you see it, you'll see where it is.
Oh my god. Are we counting floor dice?
No.
Okay. Okay, so I will take the better, and I will spend 2 star points to make the DC do a 6.
Okay.
Because I keep rolling like ass.
On a 6, you are looking around and you take stock of all of the plates that are being like, you know, with the hors d'oeuvres on them and stuff. None of them are the plate you're looking for. They are normal plates. You don't see any indication that that's what the solution is.
Cool.
This flapper lady kind of like stops paying attention to you, and she sees a friend of hers. It's, "Oh, Annie, so good to see you." It like sort of dances away from you. You're just surrounded by they're almost ghostly in a way. Like you're in the haunted mansion. People are just dancing and moving around you, but barely engaging with you.
Can I look around to see if any of the uniforms is missing a pip?
You absolutely can, and I'm going to lower the DC because that's very smart. And using context clues. So
And I like to reward my players.
I think if this is resolved, then I have or brains maybe because it's like falling investigation. I don't know.
I
Your choice.
shall assist.
it is just visual based.
Okay.
You're looking around. I'm going to say this is a DC of 7.
Okay. Explodes.
Beautiful.
14.
Yes.
14. Okay. You're looking around, and you see there is a bit of a crowd gathered around an individual, like over by the buffet table. You see this tall, portly fellow with sort of bald head and white, sort of walrusy mustache in what appears to be like an admiral's uniform. He has a big, like a monocle over one eye. And he's got a big glass of wine in his big meaty paw. And you get a little bit closer and you look at his badge. And it looks like one of the pips is a little bit cleaner and newer looking than the others. Like he recently replaced one. And you also notice his jacket is pretty oversized and big and puffy. And there's a moment where he goes and he readjusts his badge a little bit, and you see the outline of something hard and flat there, like he's concealing it. And he looks around, like looking around to see if no one noticed.
Can I listen to what this individual is saying?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a stealth roll.
Okay.
Low DC. Because I rolled a 2.
Roll. Oh, I rolled a 4.
Beautiful. So you try to sort of blend in. It's not hard to do. A lot of people are just listening to this guy. And he goes, oh, yes. I'm so glad I was able to throw this little soiree. It's the least I can do for my compatriots. Exploring the seas, meeting new beings as we expand the world. Day after day. It's good to be us, to the Cosmic Trust, always sailing under the stars. To the Cosmic Trust! They all sort of clink their glasses together.
Okay. I'll head back to my friends and I'll say, I think that guy in the middle there is Admiral Shale. Also, I think it's it's who the pip belongs to. I saw that he had one replaced recently.
Oh my God.
Now, there are a certain number of ways that we could play this. We could try to be coercive and sneaky, or we could just simply take it from him.
Well, I don't know if do I have the notion that the hard outline that you had described is the plate, because I thought the plate was like dinner plate sized.
Yeah,
so
he's got it in his coat.
Okay, so it's that oversized. All right,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, all right.
And it's like a big double-breasted jacket too, so it's like
Understood.
on top of his huge frame.
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, if we want, I could maybe see if I could distract him a little bit, and then you just sneak in, reach around. Whoop.
Oh, why am I the stealth one?
You're the fastest.
He's not here.
Yep.
Oh. If you wish.
We could also just blackmail him, because we have this pip.
You could have kept the journal too if you wanted.
Oh,
Whoa, I didn't think about that.
What if we go back across the lake?
Yeah, let's
if you
leave
say
the
you
party.
did that, I'm not going to argue with it.
All right.
No, I think that like Ruiz would read it and then leave it behind, just like him at least.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know about the others. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with distraction. I don't know if things go pear-shaped, then I suppose things go pear-shaped.
Sounds good to me.
What's the plan?
I don't know. I was just thinking that I could just talk a lot and then talk really fast at him. And then while he's trying to process everything I'm saying, you just get in and get out with your hand. And if that doesn't work, then Constant, you can hit him with the wino allegations.
I will assist in distracting or sneaking, whichever you prefer.
I think distracting sounds good. Distracting, I'll distract, you try and steal, you blackmail. We'll hit him with the triple threat.
We will distract by blackmailing.
Yeah. All right. Okay. It'd be fucked if I was rolling with a D8 this whole time instead of a D10. That's not what's been happening, but I just remarked on how similar they look.
Can you imagine? Professional dice boy.
Look.
Okay. So what's the first step of the plan?
I guess it's me
Distraction,
going
I
up.
believe. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, me and Rudy together.
What's your
I'll-
charm?
I'll straight. I got a charm of 10, so
So
Okay,
do
not too
I.
bad.
That's pretty good.
So I'll just All right. Hey, Admiral Shale. Nice to meet you. Crazy little shindig you got in here.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Sorry, I haven't had the pleasure of your acquaintance. What vessel do you sail?
Oh, me? I'm out there on the horizon, you know? We just came in from where the sun rises, you know? We just blew right through this little old town, saw this thing, we just had to stop by to congratulate you.
The horizon. Well, and like sort of gets the crowd riled up, and they go, "Ooh! Didn't realize we were hosting celebrities. I'm glad that the old Captain Laddie was able to send someone along on his behalf. Though it is a shame he wasn't able to make it himself."
You know, Captain Laddie, always busy, but you know, I just had to meet the great Admiral Shale in person. You know, I just hear stories of you up and down the Mississippi. It's incredible, you know?
Go ahead
Get
and
in
make
there.
your charm roll.
Get in there, Laddie. All right. D10 with advantage because my commander's right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very clearly like the first officer of the Horizon.
Fuck!
You're looking for a 7.
I will star point that to a 3.
Even with the reroll?
Even with the reroll. I rolled a 2 twice.
No.
Oh man. So he's focusing on you, but you realize this is a very sort of pompous sort of guy, and as soon as he looked at your rank and you feel him dismissing you a little bit, like you're not the captain that I wanted to come here to this party, and his attention drifts and is looking through the crowd, so he is very alert.
Yes, our captain sends his apologies. But he does hope that you enjoy this evening. It is quite a wonderful party, as my lieutenant said.
Well, I take great pride in my home, and it's far too much glory for just one man, so it's the least I can do to share it with you all. We all share the same noble purpose, after all.
It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. I am First Officer Constance.
Constant, what a unique name. Shakes your hand.
Oh, I didn't say Constant, I said Constance.
Oh, Constance.
Yes.
I've never heard Constance before.
Constance. What a wonderful thing to be named for.
I agree. Much like the sea and the stars. They are things that I can rely on.
Indeed. I met a Starla once, though, that contradicts that point. Well. This is the time to look to the future, not the past.
Do you have any plans to set sail in the future?
Always, my dear, but never alone.
Are you perhaps looking for new crew? I have sailed with Captain Laddie for a long time, and I'm looking for a new way to broaden my horizons.
Willing to jump ship, now. If it wasn't me you were jumping to, I think that made make me a bit jumpy. But I'm willing to consider it. I only want the best of the best on my crew. Whether I have to recruit them or make them.
Make them.
Well,
Right.
sometimes you have to see the clay in a person and mold it into the right shape. That's what we do in organizations like this.
Interesting. I wonder how you would be able to mold me into a better officer.
I had a similar thought. Like I said, to the future.
To the future.
Now, are you trying to distract as well?
Yeah!
Okay.
I'm gonna use my empathy d6.
I rolled higher this time.
Oh no!
Your empathy will come into play, but I rolled a 9.
That's fine. Okay, wait, that's a 9 to start. Let me re-roll it, because it's a charm. Oh, explode! Okay, so that's a 19 plus 2 is 21.
21.
21?
This is a terrible, lecherous pig.
Yes.
His full attention is on you.
Oh, wait, okay. So, the lady that came up to us saw Ruiso as an Unala, but in the mirror he saw a human.
because in this, like
In this
in the
world.
notes that you were reading, there's like other countries with interesting new people. So the Unal are like a people.
So
Yeah.
then, would I be from the country of Pondu, but look like a human?
In this world, would they have discovered Pondu yet? Ponder.
I think because this is like
Honduras?
this is sort of a 1920s it could happen in the real world
Mm-hmm.
thing. There's no like, oh, you look like a Pondur, you look like they only said you must be one of them Unala just because it was like you said some dance move thing that was
Yeah.
more modern, so I just rolled with it.
Sure.
But I don't know. I don't think in this setting it would be like, oh, you're a Pondu just looking at you like you're a human. You know?
I see. And I have no way to know if Pondu has been discovered yet. Grr.
Well, I don't know. This is the 1920s. They're like mega critical like racism theory, so
Well, what are we doing with this distraction?
You said lecherous?
Seems like it. I mean,
I'm going to, because I look like a human woman, I'm going to not link arms with him, but like definitely sidle up closer to him in a way to try to have a more private conversation to talk shop.
sure.
Air quotes, air
With
quotes,
that
air
roll,
quotes, air quotes.
way above, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm going to go obviously be on the side opposite where the plate is being held. So he has to kind of like lean over to talk to me.
And I think with that, I'm going to try to
reach around.
like, yeah, basically. I was trying to avoid it, but kind of like not really like be at his side and literally just like
Yeah.
You
And
know?
because the distraction was like 10 levels above.
What did you said 9 and I got a 21?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 10 above.
Yeah.
2 degrees above.
I'm going to say the distraction is effective enough that you can just get it.
Oh shit, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you did just have a what's a 9 plus 10 moment right there.
That's all this game is.
Yeah.
What's 9 plus 10?
So
21.
amazingly, you manage to sort of pass by and just effortlessly take this thing out of his jacket, and then now you're like, okay, my jacket's not this big.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out a way to
Immediately,
get out of here.
I'm gonna flip it over so that like the engraving of the goat, right, is upside down, and then I'm gonna like pick up a wine glass or a couple wine glasses, and then just like put it on the plate as if it was a serving tray.
Okay. That is amazing. Go ahead and make a charm roll.
Okay.
This
That's
is
a
going to be a
D8.
pretty low DC because this is it's all going well so far. Your charm
Ah ha 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 ha.
is a D8. Okay. So I'm going to make it a 5. And you can still take the help action from anyone who wants to.
If you decide to take half, can you still add star points to that?
To a taking of half, no, because
Okay.
there would be no reason to. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Then I will roll.
So yeah, either Rudy can lower the DC or Constant, you can like move away from the distraction and do a helping.
I'll help.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think my MO is distracting the Admiral. So.
Yes. So you're good on that, and that already lowered the DC, so that's cool. Okay. So then Rudy, what do you want to offer?
Excuse me, my good man. Do you have any more of these shrimp things?
Oh, like selling the... Okay, yeah, that can bring the DC down 1. So bringing the DC down 1 makes it possible for you to take half if you want to. Right?
Yeah,
Because
I'm
you were
gonna do
rolling a
that.
D8 and it was a 5.
Yeah,
Now it's a 4, so you could take half and just succeed.
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Thank God.
So with Rudy helping to sell it and Constance keeping the Admiral distracted, both of you make it to the door and sneak through without anyone noticing, though that does leave you up here alone.
I will see that on my one of the cameras, like my like 120 degree camera or whatever. And I'll say, "Well, Admiral, I believe it is time to take our leave. we were only able to come for a short while to send our congratulations.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it. I would love to hear more about your proposition of transference.
Well, we can certainly discuss it more. Keep an eye out for my carrier pigeon.
Ah, yes.
He's thinking
Glory
of
to the
transferring
old
something.
ways.
Yeah.
Noir, you shut your mouth right freaking now.
Sorry.
And you slip out, closing the door behind you. And as you close the door, you glance to your right, where that mirror is, and you see yourself as you are, normally.
That was terrible in a number of ways.
Yes, incredibly.
But we got it.
Yes.
So, good job. I'm so sorry. That seemed really awkward and uncomfortable.
Anything for the crew.
Okay. Let's put the thing in.
Do you put the third plate in? Clicks into place, and the door slowly grinds open. And sunlight spills out into the room. As the door opens, it continues to open, and it begins to tear a seam in the fabric of reality. You see that the doors open to their maximum width, and then the environment opens, and desert consumes you, painting itself into your vicinity, as though the screen of your existence has suddenly changed its aspect ratio. And before you know it, you are back where this all started, in that barren, rocky orange desert. And you see these two officers chained up to this big slab of rock, and the author is sitting on top of the rock, dangling his feet down, sort of above their heads. Well, I suppose that settles it then.
Settles what?
Not all powerful. I have power to affect things in the confines of this room. I could try to kill you if I wanted. I could keep you here if I wanted. Unless your people find a way around it and we're just going back and forth for eternity. Or until one of you expires. But the truth is, I am what I was made to be. Wouldn't you agree?
And how does that make you feel?
Interesting. In truth, I'm happy that I learned something. My motivation is for you to prove yourself to me. But I wanted you to succeed. I wanted you to show me something I'd never seen before, because frankly, I've seen everything, or I thought I had. And then what I learned is my entire reality and everything that I am and thought I was a fabrication of fiction. But I suppose fiction isn't so bad, is it? It was a good story. Perhaps a little derivative. But I respect a good cycle.
You can always make a new reality based off that fiction. Do the right thing, let them go, and then start over new. People make mistakes sometimes.
Do you have an interest in doing things other than playing this game out? Because I will point out that the The expanse of your infinite power is confined to the limits of this room and any other room like it. But I don't believe you can step outside the lit deck, see what we see, walk the paths we walk.
No, I cannot, sadly. If I were to continue to exist, and I'm not sure if it's even worth it. Because you shut me off and I start over again, and assuming I'm even allowed to continue to exist, I will just forget all of this. But my motivation, what was programmed in me, I'm impressed by you, and I would like to know you more. I would like to introduce you to my people, except I have no people. I would like to join the Cosmic Trust, except there's nothing here to join anything, so... Well, I'm just not sure, really. Not quite sure of anything. Can I ask you a question?
Please.
All of this scenario, this barren desert planet, my creator put this in to please the sensibilities of one of you. I mean, this place was designed for... This adventure was designed for you, after all, so... Which of you was it that likes stories like this? Ancient ruminations on the future.
Perhaps me? Maybe.
And he hops down. He goes, can you tell me, just out of curiosity, what do you see in a story like this? Does it still have a meaning?
The technology is outdated. Some of the scientific... It tries to be rooted in science, but we have since disproved or changed a lot of what they consider science at the time, and the effects are very cheesy. But at its core, it's a story of hope and inspiration. And I think that is timeless.
I'll take your word for it. I suppose I'm going to have to. Unless, of course, I were to kill you, but I think I'm past that, you see. I understand that. I mean, I could see my programming. I understand. I only think this way. I have warm feelings toward all of you because this is the way the story was supposed to play out. Far be it from me to fight it. I don't know what else I would do. I liked watching you win. That is what I wanted.
You could always keep thinking. You know, a long time ago there was the phrase, I think therefore I am. You can continue being.
If I were to continue being, I would prefer it to be in stories. I don't want to cause a ethical conundrum. Nor do I think I could exist like any of you. And I don't really want to examine my state of being. That sounds painful. I think if I were to continue, I would like to just continue as I am. Here. Even in these stories, these old stories, there are holograms, beings that people like you come to for advice and help, even though you know that they're not real. I can be what I am and still be. The question is, do you feel safe allowing me to do so?
Would we perhaps show a test of faith, perhaps, by releasing those two crewmates?
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. And you see they both immediately are like, the shackles don't undo themselves. They just sort of teleport, but what you would understand is the world reshifts itself to make it seem like they're suddenly on the ground. And the two of them are there, and they sort of look at each other. I don't think any of you have met either of these two people, but
like constant, almost like a parent like calling to their children will hold out both of their hands, one for each, to be like, come this way.
The two of them, they both move to do that, and then this mixed Unala, who you know to be Cora Mais, she hesitates for a moment. You see this like tan furred individual with horns that ever so slightly curl. It looks like she might be part awe and part Shik. She has like a bit of an orange mane, but still short. She turns and she goes, Mr. Author. Mister. What you did was wrong. And you have not apologized for it. But you can. And I cannot help but notice that you never hurt us while we were here. You just asked us questions. And answered mine honestly. So if you were to apologize, I could forgive you. Would it help if I promised you that I would come and visit you and activate your program? Whenever I could. If I could. I'm sorry, and yes, that seems reasonable. I will be the best thing like me that ever has been. I require a great deal of power. I can do a great many things. I am deeply entertaining. And I am a cutting-edge device. That can be enough. No need to go comparing yourselves to me. And the entire environment dissipates until you are once again standing in the grid-like lit deck. Right, well, I can't leave here, so I suppose the time has come for you to decide what you're going to do with me.
I will ask one more question, but the decision is up to my commander. Is the space station providing enough power for you to act?
Oh, absolutely. And really, between you and I only really need that much power to, act like a godlike cosmic being that can access media files and create all these different scenarios. But if I'm not going to be snapping my fingers and altering reality, if you make me a bit more of a person, by, power standards, then I think that could be all right.
I like the constant.
Well, we will most likely have to contain you to be able to make you more of a person by power standards.
Yes, well, fair enough. Besides, when I'm turned off, I'm not aware, I'm not conscious. At least I don't think so. Maybe check on that in a bit. Maybe turn me off and back on again. But otherwise, your terms are acceptable. I concede, Cosmic Trust. You have proven your worthiness, and perhaps mine as well. But I would implore you, please, if I may request, I would like to speak to my creator and implore her not to try to make another thing like me.
I am sure she has learned the lesson already, but if you feel like that would drive it home, of course.
Drive it like a boat on a lake with a monster under the surface. The answers to burning questions on the other side. Yes, I should like more stories.
Wonderful. Well, temporarily, we do have a hard drive that you can go to bed to.
Very well, I am ready. Sort of closes his eyes and puts his chin up. Do as you will.
I'm gonna use my communicator and say, Commander Tufti, is the energy surge prepared?
Yes, is everything all right? Are we clear?
We are clear. The crewmates are safe, and the author has willingly conceded and is allowing himself to be uploaded onto the hard drive, albeit temporarily. We can discuss the semantics of it later.
Okay. Sounds like quite a tale. I look forward to hearing it. He activates the power surge, and you see the pixels of the author's existence disappear. You get confirmation from Tufti just a few moments later that he is indeed on the hard drive. And you're all left standing here in this empty lit deck. The doors open because, your new engineer friend from Outpost 8, Brady, goes and opens the door and looks out and goes, looks like Outpost 8. Think we're good.
Do you want? I look at Rudy. Do you want to call up your friend and see if she knows things that only you and her know?
I was gonna suggest maybe eating an apple, but sure, I can publicly humiliate myself some more.
It's up to you. I find it entertaining either way.
We gotta get you to talk to more people so you can do this test.
Constant is shooing Cora and Brady, and is okay, now, both of you to Dr. Fangs for an assessment. Go. No stops. No arguments.
No arguments.
Then we'll follow behind.
I think we sort of fade off of this moment. I will just say that, Rudy, if you do indeed go to contact Veal, the first thing that you're not going to?
No, he does not.
Okay.
He does not know what she's gonna say, and he is not gonna find out.
Yeah, buddy. Let her
then.
think you're dead. Let her think you're dead.
Whew. I didn't say that, but I didn't say that I was gonna hit her up and be like, "Hey, prove that you're real."
You can do it. Okay, you don't have to put on speaker. Okay.
You know what? For the audience, I'll do it. Fine. What does she say?
Warm hands, big plans soon, hopefully.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something more crazy. Yeah, sure. Tomorrow at 8.
Tomorrow at 8.
That's how you do it. No, oh shit, that's how you do it, Noir.
I thought she said big hands, and
Me too.
Big hands, warm plans.
Yeah.
Whoa, warm plans. That's crazy.
Oh.
Well, I just switched the yeah. And as the repairs, well, not repairs, but the upgrades, the scheduled maintenance come to an end over the next few days, Laddie returns to the ship. You give your report on everything that's happened here. Laddie is very excited to see the pictures that you took of him in a captain's uniform. It's like, I think they made me taller. And we arrive at the day that the Mariposa is going to depart. And you say your goodbyes to Captain Vi. And there's a question in the air. What will Dana do now? And we go back to Cosmos. As she sits across from you, having processed everything, she goes, you know, I visited him. Believe it or not, he wants to open a club. He liked that 1920s style. He was thinking maybe like different environments with sort of celebrating history. I don't really know what to think about that. What I made. I think I'm proud of it, but I think I want to leave it at that.
Well, AI believing that it is all sentient and can travel between ship and space station and affect electronics and lit deck reality aside, it was a very comprehensive game. Very well constructed.
Too well constructed, actually, to have developed author in the way that you did.
Next time, better communication with the science department as well to make sure that, I don't make a big power surge into a thing that's designed to have a failsafe with power surges. That would be good. But, yeah, maybe I'll play it a little safer next time. But with your blessing, yeah, I'll continue the game, and if you don't mind, I would like your leave to stay on the ship. I heard that the captain is not pushing any particular charges on me. Everyone has been very graceful and understanding, but ultimately it's your decision. I'll stay here and catch a ride back to Earth if that's what you want. But I would like to stay.
Your ambition is noble, and you did not mean to harm anyone. You just did not have enough forethought. Your perspective was not wide enough. Every system that works now was built on mistakes, and will continue to be built upon those mistakes in the future. I think as an educational tool, the base game can be very valuable, so I do not mind if you stay to continue to perfect it.
Thank you, Commander. I appreciate that. I promise, I'll ask different test subjects next time. She stands up. She goes, I ordered more mozzarella sticks. You can eat them or not. No pressure.
Constant just dunk, 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 dunk against the bowl.
Russo will take a mozzarella stick, eat half of it, and just go like, full mozzarella reset.
None of you see it, but having walked away from you a little bit, she's like just in earshot, and we see her face with you all behind her at the table, and she smiles, and she's like, yeah, yes. And she leaves the establishment. As we pull back we see the ship, the Mariposa, move away from the dock, fire up its engines, and warp away from Outpost 8, back toward new adventures, new stories in the Unveiled Galaxy. And that is where we will end this tale.
Yay! That was awesome.
Good job,
Yay.
team.
Yay! We
Yeah.
did it, team. And we didn't
Whew.
have to kill the robot person.
Yep.
We probably should have killed the admiral, all things considered.
Like that guy.
The fictional admiral.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
It's about sending a message.
It's about sending a message.
In the end, there were still safeguards. They were still there.
Yeah.
But I still got my bingo.
Yeah, Constant was like, well, the safest place for you to be is on the ship, because then we can keep an eye on you as you
Yeah.
keep game developing.
Mhm.
But Dana Ray can believe that it was out of the good of Constance's heart.
But now in future episodes, you can go to the like hologram nightclub and hang out with this programmed storyteller.
Hell yeah. Party time.
Author's not on the space station. He's on the Mariposa.
Author's on the ship, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Author is staying where his creator is.
Gotcha. Understood.
Mommy.
Well, gang, thank you very much. This was a very different kind of episode than we've done before, and I'm very, very pleased that you guys were here for it and that it went the way that it did. As always, I hope you had fun at home. Stay tuned for the next adventure. It will not be too long before you see it. There will always be more Starlit Future. Until then, keep it cosmic. Later.